Hello friends, foes, other watchers on the internet, my name is Matt, you're watching Hogwash Gaming, and today we're going to be building a character in a brand new RPG that's still in development. I met the creators at the Cleveland Gaming Classic this year, and we played a few rounds of combat, and it was really fun and pretty simple for what this game is trying to be. It's a superhero RPG, which I think you can pick up from the title and the icon with the superhero flying there. Yeah, budstuffgames.com is where you want to go to check this out. I encourage you to do so. You can download this playtest rule set there, and as well as this Excel sheet, character sheet here, which is really nice. It has different tabs. Don't miss the tabs down here: abilities, inventory, super team, and backstory. Data, I think, is just some program stuff. So if you start typing something down, it'll autofill some of the stuff. So don't mess with that. But all of these are there for us to fill out. And the teams tab is when you have more than one superhero fighting together. They can help each other make better attacks together. I think Colossus and Wolverine had something. It was like the fastball special or something like that. You know, that kind of thing where it's synergy. You have two different superheroes with two different superpowers that when they bounce off of each other, it becomes even more. Which I have not looked into. I will look into it very soon. But right now, we don't have a team. We only have empty character sheets right now. So we're going to fill this out. And the hero name is going to be Tide Turner. Tide Turner is a water superhero, as you can tell. Her main weapon will be an anchor, which I think is really cool. And she also has kind of a big old fish hook, kind of Maui style, but metal instead, and that'll be her grappling hook. And so those are the two things that we're going to be looking at as equipment in this build. So we're going to go with that. All right, so Tide Turner. I have a cheat sheet. I always make a cheat sheet for my characters when I'm building these things, so then I'm not like going through and looking and wasting your time. But I will be flipping back and forth between these two things, so then you can see what I'm doing. All right, so first off, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the superhero leveling guide. And what's really nice about this is not only does it have it split into, okay, this is what you do for level 1, and then this is what you do for level 2 and 3. So it's all labeled like that, but also what they've done is they've made hyperlinks. So you can kind of click here, boom, it takes you straight to that part of the document, which is super helpful when you're working on something like this. So let's say I wanted to figure out our superpower. I would just click superpower, and it takes you to superpower archetypes. And then you've got all of these archetypes that if you click, boom, it takes us where we want to go. So that's one thing that I really like, and it has return links as well. Hello, cat. It has return links as well that take us right back to the leveling guide, which is super handy. That in itself is great design. Good job, guys. All right, so we have this empty character sheet. What do we do first? Well, first we've got to fill out these talents. As it says here, roll to determine your talents and enter them into your hero sheet following the steps. You roll a d4 12 times and assign each number to one of your talents. And then you fill in the corresponding ability modifiers, which I think is automated here. So basically what we've got is we've got these purple are your charisma abilities, and yellow is your physical abilities, and intelligence are these orange abilities. The sum of all of these numbers in this color add up to be your basic charisma score. And then yellow, your basic physical score, and intelligence like so. So I've already rolled I did not roll terrifically well. I rolled no 4s, so let's just fill this out. So we've got 3 for intimidation. Deception, we have 2. For showmanship, we have 1. And then persuasion, we have 2. So because this character I wanted to be a little more physical than anything else, she's a fighter, not a scientist or a great speaker. I threw a 3 in here. Her finesse is 2. Her resilience is 3. Endurance is 3 as well. Analysis. So you see how charisma, it all adds up to 8. And for physical, it adds up to 13. Which I think is really good in comparison to something like 5e, where your base stats affect all of your skills. This way, the skills affect all of your base stats, which I think is a neat way to change it up a bit. I think that's really cool. All right, let's keep going. Analysis, we have 2. Observation is very important. No matter what we've got, it's a 3. Science is 1, and mentality is 2. Okay, boom. So we've got 8, 13, and 8. But we're not done messing with those yet. Yeah, we'll fix that in a bit. Let's go back to this. Next, we're going to select our superpower. Now, I've done some research on the superpowers, and what I really want is, let's go to superpower. We want to go with nature. And the main reason is, the next thing is we choose what kind of innate ability they start with. And what I wanted was breathing underwater. It seems pretty important for an aquatic character, is to have underwater breathing. So we'll do that. We'll go with her innate ability is breathing underwater. So let's go back to this. Innate ability. Life aquatic. And I always love spelling things while being watched. That's really helpful. And then we'll go breathe underwater. Cool. Cool. So that's her first innate ability. This is just something she can do, and that is to breathe underwater, which is great. All right. And then her superpower. We're going to go here. Boom. And none of these really fit exactly with an Aquaman-esque character. Flaming hot, ice cold, electrified, fire burst, ice blast, electric zap, radiator. Those didn't work. And even Earth Warden. I went too far. Earth Warden, though it's closest to what I want, it's not what I want. So what we're going to do is we're going to reskin this a little bit. Sorry guys, I know you're developing this stuff, and it would really help if I stuck to the rules, but I'm going to reskin it. It's not going to change any of the aspects of or powers. It's just going to change what they look like. So we're going to go with Earth Warden, but instead of Earth Warden, we're going to say she is a Sea Warden. And that doesn't mean that she's limited to a certain body of water. It just means she's a superhero in that element. So we've got hero level is 1, and her given name. I came up with this. It's Coraline Reeves. You know. It's clever. Don't fight it. It's clever. Okay, Coraline Reeves. Is it Coraline? Yeah, Coraline. There we go. Coraline Reeves. All right. So we got that out of the way. Sea Warden. Now, what does being a Sea Warden mean? Well, we're going to go to here. I'm actually going to copy and paste because they have 2 places for innate abilities. So I'll copy, and then we'll go over here, and we'll paste here. I think this one is just kind of like a quick reference, and then this is for more verbose descriptions. So breathe underwater, not bad. All right, so superpowers. So we're gonna go here. We'll take a look at what the thing says. So superpower attack. So I'm gonna just drag this. And we're gonna just copy, which is super nice if you're working with a PDF. So we'll just go in, paste. And I'm just gonna reword some of this. Water state. Your skin thickens like coral and kelp. Coral and kelp. I'm not sure why I capitalize certain things, but there we go. Coral and kelp, and you gain 1d8 armor rating. The water state. Water state. Last 5 rounds. When this is activated, you unleash a melee attack at a single target, dealing 1d12 plus 1d8 plus Moxie. We'll get to Moxie in a bit. Sharp damage. You can spend Hero's Favor to increase the damage of this attack. 1 Hero's Favor increases the superpowered dice count. I talked to them about this, and they meant the number of dice, not adding 1 to the end of your equation. So there's that. Boom. Superpowers. They have a superpower attack. They enter a different state where they skip. Let's change this up. Let's call it aquatic, because she's not really turning into water. The aquatic state. One thing that I really would like her to be able to do, and I don't see her being able to do it just yet, is have a swim speed. If there is a way to do that for a level 1 character to be able to breathe underwater and have a swim speed, that would be great. Guys, consider updating Life Aquatic to breathe underwater and have a swim speed, even if it's only like 20. You know, and then it like increases as they level up or something. That might be something to consider. Just saying. All right, so we got that. Sea Warden is great. Let's look at what's next on the list. I'm pretty sure we're going to the origin section. Okay, so superpower dice is a D8, so if we need to fill that out somewhere, we can. There we go. So we have the innate abilities, and then we have the abilities, and then we're going to the origin section. So we'll go here, origins. So liability, I kind of rolled for this because each character has like some sort of weakness socially. And I rolled for it, and it says that, let me see, I rolled a 9 for this one, and it was a childhood friend runs a website that reveals superhero identities. I kind of built off of that and said, friend is an independent investigator that studies supers and reveals their secrets. Kind of like a super gossip. Cool. All right. So that's there. And then I also rolled for where she lives. I rolled a D6, and then if it was a 6, I just re-rolled it again, because there are 5 options here. And I got a mechanic's garage. Now, since she's sea-based, I kind of made it a kind of a dry dock kind of situation, a boat repair shop in the abandoned factory district. One thing that I'm trying to do with these superheroes and whatnot is I'm going to be adapting them to a city very much based off of Cleveland, which is not in the world building setting that they've created for this place or for this game. But, you know, DM's gonna DM and change things as he wants. I'm gonna base this off of the city of Cleveland because I'm pretty familiar with Cleveland for the amount of time I've lived here. And it's got a very dynamic industrial feel to it, but it also has a downtown that has some modern feeling buildings and new development as well. So it's old and new combined in the same place. I think it's a good aesthetic for superheroes and the villains and whatnot. It has some very classic architecture, and it's got some very modern architecture as well. It suits the superhero genre, so I'm going with that. So the old factory district, I know where that is in Cleveland, and so there's that. Okay. So we've got the liability in the home. Now we're going to work on something that actually gives us some sort of thing that affects the actual mechanics of the game. So we're going to go with mentors. Now, mentors have a whole bunch of things, and I actually rolled for this, but I really like what we rolled for it, and I'm going with mystical spiritual. Her mentor, I'm going to make into, is that on here or is that on the backstory? Mentor, here it is. Okay, so her mentor is something called the Prophet Fish. The Prophet Fish is, I'm not familiar with a ton of 90s action shows. I wasn't allowed to watch them growing up, but I do know that the Power Rangers have like this like mystical being that's like behind all of their powers and whatnot. And so that's kind of what I'm going for with Prophet Fish. Prophet Fish is like this fish that came out of the lake or the sea or whatever, and came to Coraline and taught her the ways of the fish and the sea and the powers thereof, making her the next guardian of the sea, or the next sea warden. So it's kind of cool in that way, in my mind. If you think that's lame, too bad. It's my character. We're gonna go with it. It's a giant. Yeah. So the Prophet Fish, a giant carp that speaks wisdom. So each mentor gives you a conviction and a doubt. And in this case, the conviction is you can reroll 1d20 per day on a talent check, or a superpower attack, or a weapon gadget attack if attempting to rescue a civilian, which I think gives you some litigation that you can throw around when trying to justify it to your DM. We'll find out. Doubt. You have small distrust for your teammates if they do not share your beliefs. Super team attacks are done with disadvantage. So the Prophet Fish is like gonna be everything to this girl in some regards, and if people aren't fully on board with the fact that Prophet Fish is like a real thing, because what I'm gonna do is Prophet Fish is only going to speak Prophet Fish. That's his language. So she can speak Prophet Fish's language because he gave her the powers. So she's the only one that can speak to this thing. Yeah, so English and Prophet Fish. And everyone else can't understand Prophet Fish. So she is talking to this fish, and people are like, what are you doing? And yeah, I think that's going to be fun for this doubt to come into play. All right, so now the origin of her powers are going to be magic and arcane. All right, so we're going to have to choose a boon from the origin and a bane from the origin. So one of these three, observation, persuasion, or deception, will be boosted and have 3, And then a Bane will be resilience or intimidation, which will have a -2 to it. I chose persuasion to have a boon and intimidation, sorry, to have the Bane. So what we're going to do is we are going to go here, and we're going to go P, and it autofills for us. Persuasion is going to have the boon, and then the Bane is going to be intimidation. Already fills it out for us. Developers, if you're watching, tell me if that affects the main ability score or if it's just a bonus that goes on these when we roll them. Because I would think that they would be added to that, and then that becomes relevant in the base ability score. I'm just reading these real quick to make sure that I have everything filled out. Hero's moment expertise. Hero's moments are things that that come up in gameplay, and it's when you crit fail. There's a bonus that you get even if you fail, because you're a superhero, and failing isn't always the end of the story. So that's cool. Origin. Oh, here it is. Magic/arcane. Yeah, oh, here it is. Boom. And hero trait. Okay, yep. Trait is next. We're going to do what her traits are. Boom. Let's go back to the leveling guide. And we already filled out the personal space and languages and stuff out of order, but select one hero trait. So we're going to go with hero traits, and I'm going to go with Kid Hero. I think that works best for her. So her talents are going to be persuasion, finesse, and observation. So we are going to grab those, and then we're going to paste them. Hero trait, Kid Hero. We have the expertise taken care of, and then starting equipment we are going to work with, and I'm just going to write it down because what we have right from the get-go is we have one weapon, one set of armor, and one gadget. Alright, so we'll go down to the equipment. That's abilities. Where's equipment? Weapons, here we go. So, one weapon could be melee, short range, or long range. She has expertise in melee and long range. So what we're going to do is we're going to give her an anchor. Now, an anchor is not a common weapon. So what we're doing is we're going to take the stats for a big hammer and call that an anchor. It's pretty basic. Can be thrown as a short-range weapon, 1d6 blunt. And these numbers here are what it would take you to get this for free from someone that you have a relationship with, as far as who's in your not in your team, who in society looks up to you. Let's take a look at that real quick. I think Kid Hero basically is just general popularity. Just gets things from the populace. Now, this isn't like nailed down, but certain populations have different equipment to give you. Like, the general population isn't going to have a sniper rifle or a high-tech portal gun. That's not how it works. So, general popularity is a good plastic one, I think, where just general audiences like you. It doesn't matter where they come from. The thing is, you have to like start focusing on certain individuals in order to get the nice stuff, which might be better to have someone who has a more specific population that they get along with, as a fellow superhero that you can talk to and say, hey, can you pick this up for me from the Mad Scientist Guild? And they'll go, yeah, sure. So teamwork in that respect, kind of a Tony Stark to the MCU's Spider-Man. So we have melee weapons that's taken care of. Armor, here we go. We just went with standard armor. We'll not worry about the public perception score or the tier requirements because you don't need to worry about that on your level 1. Base and max. Yep, I got that right. Okay, so I'll put these in parentheses so it makes it easier to read. All right, cool. Nothing special, but does the job. Then we're also going to get a grappling hook. That's what the fish hook's going to be. Copy. It's a grappling hook. We'll use that. Let's see if this works. It does not. Okay. Let's see if moving this does anything. Nope. Okay, so standard armor is there. We'll just go here. Grappling hook. Okay, cool. We were able to make it work. If this was a thing that I'd be filling out with a pencil, it would be a lot easier than this. I'm still figuring out the Excel version. But I still enjoy the Excel version quite a bit. We have expertise taken care of. Cool. Now, that's the end of what I have on my cheat sheet, but we've got some other things to fill out still. We have free movement speed, which I think, yeah, it's we're gonna call it 1 because the way that movement works in this game is you have action points. You have 6 action points per turn, and with this game, instead of moving 5 feet per grid thing, it's actually a hex, and each hex is 20 feet. So anything inside your hex you can engage with melee attacks, and everything kind of radiates out from there as far as what the distance is for your ranged attacks and whatnot. She doesn't fly yet, so we'll close that off. Defensive threshold, that's what the DT is for her armor, so that will be 2. Initiative, let me look up what is required for calculating initiative, because we're done with her equipment now. Let me make sure I'm okay. Yeah, so public perception system, yeah, you have scientific community and whatnot, general public. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. You have to have a lot of general popularity to spend points to get other items from other entities like the media, government, scientific community, corporations, or underground. We have our expertise in starting equipment, and then we start with 2 Heroes Favor. Heroes Favor are points that you can use to upgrade things like our super attack. You can use Heroes Favor to increase the number of superpower dice that you can use. There are other things that you can do with Heroes Favor stuff that we'll talk about later in another video. But current heroes favor is 2. I don't know what the favor max is. There's a max to it. Let me just click heroes favor. Hero level 1 or 2, you get. It looks like this is the max. It doesn't say so distinctly, but we'll just say 2 for now. All right. What would be nice is if, since you have some programming stuff, guys, if you made a link between the level and the hero's favor max. That would be a good thing to program in this. I don't know how that works, but evidently it does work in some regards, so just something to keep in mind for that. All right, let's go back to. Oh, well, let's do Moxie while we're here. Moxie. Okay, determined by dividing the talent modifier associated with the Origins boon by 2 and rounding down. Okay, if you want to boost your Moxie, you should look for additional abilities or features that offer bonuses and try to take advantage of them. Okay, so basically, what we've got here. Okay, so they do add it. This thing here shows that they do add the boon and the bane to what it is, because there's no way you can roll a 7. So what we'll do is we will take our boon plus 3. Let's go ahead and go right here. Our boon is persuasion, so that will turn into a 5. Boom. So that's 11, and then our intimidation will be a 1. So it only goes up by 1. All right, let's look at this again. So we have a thing of 5. We didn't optimize super well, all things considered. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, rounded down is 2. So we'll say plus 2. Cool. And the superpower die is a D8. 1d8. Cool. Yes. All right. Cool. Let's go back. We got our Moxie now. Initiative. This will be equal to either your finesse or observation talent modifier. Okay, one thing that I'm going to do real quick is, because we have talents, I'm assuming that you add those as well. So talent, persuasion, finesse, observation, which will bring this up to a 6, which will bring this up to a 3. But we also have observation, which will be a 4. And finesse, which will bring it up to a 5. So that's pretty good as well. Nice. Okay, cool. So that works. Moxie goes up. Cool. What were we doing? Initiative, finesse or observation. I think our finesse is better, but just barely. It said it was equal to? Is that what it said? Equal to either your finesse or observation. Okay, so cool. We have finesse, that's 5. So initiative will be 5, which is a good bonus. That's a good bonus. I like that a lot. All right, so now let's check out our hit point situation. Calculate your defensive threshold, DT, and hit points. So DT is 10 plus resilience plus our armor. So what is our resilience? I think it's pretty high. Resilience is a 3. Yep. So 3 plus 10 plus 2. So that's 15, right? Yeah. 15. And then the hit points, I think, is 20 plus endurance. Yep. So 20 plus endurance. So 23. General, public. Hero size, medium, I'm guessing. Current AR, I'm guessing that, I don't know what base AR versus max AR and what current AR is, because we can go max AR is 15. Is that like, I'll have to look up what armor actually does before I can fill this out. But I think we're pretty close to being done. Abilities, we don't have a ton of these because we're just level 1. We do have the ability to breathe underwater. I would really like to have a swim speed, but that's something for another day. We'll write the hero's backstory down when we have time, but basically I've already told you this person was walking along. A carp came up and decided to bestow the knowledge of carpdom on her, and she was transformed into the Tide Turner, and she fights crime as a kid. I think that's pretty fun. If you have any questions and stuff, just follow the link in the description, and it'll put you in touch with these guys. I really enjoyed playing this game, and I think the hero creation system is good. I think there are some things that need to be explained, and if they are explained, they need to be given a link on the character creation guide page here. I think things like, to find out what AR is, you know, maybe if I go to equipment, armor rating, so many pieces of armor and clothing will have a base AR listed. This is the amount of it starts with and acts as its max AR until it has been improved. Okay, so this has no effect. So yeah, like I say, guys, I'm not very good at reading PDFs. I'm much better with physical copies, and I'm sorry, printing out 183 pages is not an option right now. But no, I've from what I've read and how this all works, I know they've worked really hard on this, and it's really, really cool. Combat is really fun, and I'm really looking forward to playing in the future, maybe with Tide Turner, maybe with someone else that I'll create. I intend on making more of these videos, so stay tuned, and until next time, this is Hogwash, over and out. Catch you later.